So are you going nuts because your VMware workstation and maybe on some hardware machines are showing you your Rocky 10 or RHEL 10 this small? Okay. So there is a reason why this happens, and I'm going to show you a solution so you can get a full desktop environment experience. So if you have checked my previous video, one of my previous videos, you know that I have recommended you guys to use the nomodeset to be able to install Rocky or RHEL. But the consequence is it will also use the nomodeset when you put the machine in after installation. So the thing is, by doing this, it means that you are launching your Linux box or RHEL box either in VMware or on bare metal with no 3D acceleration. Okay, so that's because this will solve that black screen, gray screen situation on the install. So this is going to be added on our config, and you will always boot with this option enabled. So you will never get the full screen, the OpenVM tools will never get the full desktop thing. But you can get the full experience. Let me show you. Okay, let me see if I can. And of course, I did a boo-boo. I have here the fix applied, and I'll show you what I did. Okay, I will show you what I did. And you'll see that basically this kernel it's booting without the nomodeset option enabled. Without the nomodeset option enabled. As you can see, I already have the full desktop scenario. Okay, but I still get the gray screen. Okay, so I have full 3D acceleration. I do have the gray screen. Okay, but what do you do now? You just click on your VM or whatever case. You just do Control Alt F2. Okay, you'll see this flicking cursor. Control Alt F3 if you want to go there, and go back to Control Alt F1. Now you have your desktop back. Now you just log in. Okay. After you log in, you will see that you should see your desktop. Will full potential full acceleration. If you get this, if you click on terminal or whatever and everything works fine, then we're good to go. We have full screen, we have everything we're entitled to, we have all the goodies, we have everything that we're entitled, it's perfectly fine. 3D acceleration, full marks, you are perfectly good to go. If by any chance this hangs again, because it's sometimes the frame buffer kind of hangs, you just cannot see things updating, we just go back to Control Alt F2, Control Alt F1, not F1, in this case it's going to be F something. Okay, Control F2, where is it? Let's click on the VM, Control Alt F2, F3, F4, try until you find, in my case it's F4, so Control Alt F2, Control Alt F4, you go back to the machine and the frame buffer should refresh. If you do that before the login, it should be okay throughout, but if something happens, you can just do Control Alt F2 and Control Alt F4. If you see that, as you can see, the F4 it's F2, F4, and it should be good to go. So once it works, it will just simply work, and it should be okay. Of course, this is just a workaround until something more permanent. As you can see, I got logged out for some reason, but there we go. It was the screensaver that logged me out. So this should work fine at this point. Of course, it will be better. It's way better to have a permanent fix. Okay, but there you go. This is how you can get your full desktop experience by using the nomodeset option. If you want on RHEL 10 or RHEL 9, and I think 8, 9, and 10 to change the options for each kernel, okay? What you do is the following. My God, my mic is always falling off. You just do you get some root access, okay? So I'm going to show you how I have one kernel with nomodeset applied and one kernel with nomodeset applied. So basically, you go to this folder. I was just fiddling around. You go here. You go to this folder, CD bootloader entries. You will see your bootloader entries, and you can change each one individually. Okay, so this one here, Let me put this in full screen. This one here, it's a normal one. I'm sorry, this is with the nomodeset off. And this one here, it's my default one, the one the system is booting by default, which is with the nomodeset as a fallback. So if things go south, I can just reboot the machine and I fall back to the no acceleration thingy-majiggy. If you want to, so that's it. When I'm feeling confident, I can boot with the nomodeset off and get full experience. But by default, it's going to that one. So if things go south, I can just reboot and get the failsafe one at this point while Red Hat and Rocky experience this problem. If you want to choose one to be the default, let's say you're feeling confident and you want to set this one to be the default one, this is how you do. This is how you select your default kernel to boot from in each reboot. So basically, you go to this folder, okay? You have some entries there. This one doesn't really matter for the most part. So these are your two kernels you want to boot, you can boot from, and with all the kernel parameters. Okay. So in order to check the one that it's our default one, you just type this. Let me get my cheat sheet here, so it's faster. Oh, the copy paste is not working. It's fine. I can just type it. So just do. I have it here. So I have tested this before. So this is going to help you to select which kernel is the default one. So basically, by default on each reboot, it's going to boot to this guy here. So if I do a long list, so it's the 16.1 AL10, 16.1. So it's 612.055, 612.055. So by default, it's booting to this one. Okay. There we go. So if you want to list all the options, you type grubby. I need to read from my notes because this is kind of a mouthful. Grubby minus info equals all, and you grab by title. So this is your one. So you can count this as 0, 1, 2. Okay. So this is the default one. It's booting from 0. To set the default one, you can do grub2 set default. And if I want the nomodeset one to be the default one, I just type 1. Okay. And then you just confirm. And this should be the one, the 12 one. Yeah, the 12 one is my default one. And you just reboot the system to confirm. We can just reboot it. And in theory, at least, we will boot with the full hardware acceleration on a frame buffer. So, but the default one now, it's the one without the nomodeset. So I have full desktop experience. Just going to confirm when this finishes booting, I'm going to put it back to the one. See, I'm booting to the full experience. So let's give it a few seconds. Control Alt F2, Control Alt F4. Let's find the one. Oh, it's F1. So just fiddle with the Fs. You'll find your desktop. Control Alt F2 and jump out of your graphical and go back. So it was in my case it was F2, F1, but you can just fiddle around and find out your right comment. As you can see, I'm clicking the terminal not working, so I need to refresh the buffer and go back to F4. In this case was F3. Fiddle around to find out which F here it's yours, and everything is back, and everything should be working from now on with full hardware acceleration. So it kind of happened again. It's fine. And then we are back. Cool. Now let's fix that. And now from now on, the whole session should be fine. So let's go to let's get the default kernel. Let's list them, and I want the 0 to be my default one now, just so I have a failback. And every time I reboot, I will have by default the disabled 3D acceleration, disabled frame buffer, and we should be good to go. So that's just my option. So now you know how you can decide and set your default kernel, and you can also go to the folder. I have it somewhere here. I'm just too lazy. There, and you can just VI each one of them and change your options. For example, this guy here. I added the entry nomodeset off, so in the boot it will just show me that. Like, subscribe, and comment, it helps, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers, guys.